Hey, y'all, my name is Bryant Young.
And Derek Chaney.
Here with the Decent Dads Podcast. Season 2's first guest was here, baby.
That's right. And it was a fun one.
Yeah, this is a good episode.
And a different one, right?
Yeah.
We haven't done this before with a guest.
Yeah, absolutely. We had our first dad who isn't a dad yet. He is our first expecting father, and we got to talk to him about what he's expecting and what he thinks and what he's dreading and what. Tell us about your experience leading up to it.
Yeah, it was cool to have Skyler on here, and it really brought back, I guess, some memories of your early fatherhood days.
It did, yeah. It's like some of these things that I haven't thought about in 2 years.
Reminisce on almost. It's like that this is what that was like that you almost forget about in a way.
For sure.
And it's fun to, no shade on Skyler here, but since he has zero experience with a kid on the ground, hearing some of his answers.
Yeah.
Hearing
some of his ideas.
And his ideas. And so hopefully, all his dreams and wishes come true.
Yeah. I know he's going to be a great dad, and I'm so excited for you guys to learn more about it. So I think we jump right into this.
Let's do it.
All right. Decent Dads Podcast. Here we go. Welcome back to the Decent Dads Podcast. We're here to tell dad jokes, drink coffee, and build a community of dads navigating fatherhood together. I'm Bryant Young, fearless leader, co-host, girl dad, and your friendly local insurance agent based out of Springfield, Missouri. And now, before we get started on today's episode, please help me welcome the coolest co-host with the most, a fantastic father of two, and the home loan expert. Folks, put your hands together and welcome the incomparable Mr. Derek Chaney. How are you, Derek?
Man, doing better now.
Yeah,
doing better now.
We're excited.
Heck of an introduction, buddy.
I keep hearing we're lacking on sleep at this time of the day. So
yeah,
a little energy never hurt anybody.
Traditional dad style, I guess. But we'll get there. But no, man, good day for a good day. We got our first guest of season 2.
Yeah, baby, welcome.
Mr. I'm the first one?
Yeah, you're
first
the first
one
of
season 2.
I
Yeah,
didn't
man.
know that, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Surprise.
Nice. I feel honored, guys.
Oh,
Yeah, well, good. We're
glad you're here, buddy.
Happy to have you on. We're going to do something fun with Skyler that we actually haven't done with a guest yet.
We've been talking about it since we started doing this.
Yeah.
But this is kind of the opportunity to talk to somebody.
Yeah, and we'll get to that in just a minute. But first, I want Skyler to introduce himself. Because Skyler, we know you pretty well. I feel like some people might not. So, tell us who you are, what you do, and give us your dad resume.
Yeah, I'm Skyler Henson. I work for Mid-Missouri Bank as a commercial loan officer.
Why didn't he wear his logo gear like you did?
I don't know. I could have.
Just giving you shit. Please continue.
Yeah, I gotta represent. You know what I mean? I did say we're doing pretty well this year. We're doing good. Good things going on at the bank. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
You might want to mention your significant other.
Yes, my wife Alex. She may or may not be pregnant. With our first
buddy.
Yeah.
Light work, buddy.
Light work. No. She's rocking it. It's good.
Man.
It's good though. We're very excited, man. It's I feel really honored to be the first guy that's not a dad quite yet. I'm a dad, but not yet, but like almost, but kind of
Expecting
father.
Stretch.
Yeah, home stretch. Yeah.
Well,
we're
so
less than 7 weeks away.
Is it that high? Awesome.
The final countdown.
Yeah. So cat's out of the bag. Skyler is our first expecting dad, and we are so excited to do this. We've been joking about it for a while because we want to hear all of your thoughts and all of your plans and everything, and then we want to just dash them on the rocks. Because everybody has such good ideas going into it, and it's like, oh no, this is completely different than what I thought it was going to be. Let's talk about it. So that also means that some of this stuff might be a little foreign. Our first couple things for you here.
Yes, for sure.
We always start with tantrum of the day because inevitably your kids are going to have tantrums, except you don't have kids yet. However, you told us ahead of time that you might have some ideas on some things. What are you thinking about for your tantrum?
I may have been the first tantrum. It may have been me.
Off right.
It may have been me.
Exactly.
Things happen, but I think for the first couple of days, I was shocked, man.
After you learned that she was pregnant?
Yeah, I didn't know what to think. It just happened so quick, and one day, you're a father, and you're about to be, and she's a mother, immediately, right? I mean, it's kind of
the world
crazy.
Changes pretty damn quick.
Real
It
fast.
does.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes you like what's important, right? Like
it really puts things in perspective.
Exactly,
right?
and I think it took me a couple of days to kind of figure that out. What does that perspective look like?
Yeah.
And I may have been the first tantrum.
I get that. I get that,
man. Yeah. Especially with the first one, man. It's
I mean, it's everybody talks
shock.
about like which kid is like the hardest, like or the biggest change. You know what I mean? Like 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, whatever. I keep hearing that 1 to 2 is the hardest, but I wholeheartedly I only have one, so I don't have any math on that. But I think 0 to 1 has.
I wholeheartedly disagree with 1 to 2 is the hardest. Like
it's 0 to 1, right? Like it's got to be.
From my experience so far,
I guess that's true.
I would say
you can tell us here in a minute.
I mean, right? Different people have different experiences, but I'd say 0 to 1 is way harder than 1 to 2.
Because at the beginning of it all, it's like my biggest concern is my wife, and all of this free time that I have,
right?
And that stops.
So no more golf?
In a hurry.
Am I losing the rounds this year?
We're going to talk about golf here in a minute.
All right.
Part of my dad hack.
There you go. There you go.
So, what'd you have on tantrums? What are you dealing with?
This will probably prepare Skyler a little bit because you're having a boy.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So, and we got 2 boys. So this one actually involves both of them.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a good one. My boys, they're only 20 months apart, so they're really pretty close in age, but their size differences makes them look like they're 3 years apart.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Liam can dunk.
This is where it kind of gets interesting and funny. And so we're downstairs in the basement. The other day, me and Allie, I don't know, he's working on something, and the boys were just playing. And then next thing we know, Liam's yelling at Brody. Because Brody took his train, and we're like, he'll be fine. And then we just hear Brody start losing it, like just screaming, and we're like, oh no. And I just happened to turn. Liam has him in a full headlock with the other arm locked. And little Brody, he's so short, he's like standing on his tippy toes while Liam has him in a headlock.
Where did he learn a headlock?
That's what I was like, dude, where did you learn to do that? Like, what are they teaching you at school?
These freaking daycare kids, man.
And I'm like, Liam, you can't do that. You got to put him down.
He's got the guillotine. He's going for the hooks.
I run over there, and as soon as I get pretty close, Liam just releases, lets him go, and Brody just turns around, just pops him right in the face, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
That's probably fair.
Yeah, no, I wasn't upset with Brody because I'm like, he kind of deserved it, but Brody kind of deserved the headlock too for stealing Liam's toy. And,
got it. Yeah.
And man, so there's the start of the brotherly fights.
That's so funny. I don't remember doing that, and I know every brother pairing is different. I don't think Drew and I did any of that. I'm sure it happened when we were little. 2.5 years.
Okay,
so it's not crazy. It's a little bit farther out
to be like on the same thing.
Yeah.
I feel like me and my brother are 6 years apart. And I feel like that was
sure.
It was enough to where we were at different stages the whole time. So it was we're always butting heads until we got older, and then we became best friends. It took maturing a little bit to figure that out.
Totally get that.
That's your brother. You should you love them.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and that's I could do a whole hour on that with my brother and I, because we're 2.5 years apart, but we've not lived in the same town except for the last 9 months, since we were 17 years old. So I'm figuring out how to have a relationship with my brother in my 30s. I don't really. We've not really been around each other for a long time.
Yeah.
I heard headlocks build relationships.
Yeah,
so you should try it next time you see him.
Get it in there deep.
Get you real close. Real close.
What do you got?
Elsie looked me dead in the face when I walked into daycare tonight. And
oh gosh,
she's got Liv put her in her full leopard sweatsuit, sweatshirt, sweatpants, dude. She was sassy as hell. Got her little beanie hat on, but it has little ears on it too, and she's just looks like the cutest little hip hop dance video from the 2000s, baby. It's hilarious. But I get there, she looks me dead in the face and goes, "No, stop, go away," and then turns away. And she's just doing it to get a rise out of me.
Right.
And I know that's what she's doing, but it is the most hurtful thing ever.
Fine, I will.
I don't want to be here anymore. I'm okay. And then it was just a debate the whole way out of daycare. Okay, you got to hold my hand when we get in the parking lot. No, I can do it myself. It's you can't hold your own hand. No, you got to hold my hand in the parking lot. And we finally get to the car, and we're driving back home. And I hand her the snack. You know, I hand her the what was it tonight? Goldfish.
Road
you know,
snack.
to the back sneak. Road snack. It's exactly right. They're in the glove box. It's
Roadie.
loaded. Yeah. And she
Well,
goes,
different seasons.
Dad, and then from out of nowhere, Dad, I'm your best friend. Thank you, sweetheart.
Yeah.
Brings it right
Flip
back.
that script
Brings
real
it
quick.
right
Yeah.
back.
does.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's
it
no,
does.
go away to Dad. I'm your best friend. But I was waiting for her to say, but you're not my best friend.
But she didn't.
Yeah, but
she
she didn't
right?
say
Okay,
that.
okay.
In her defense, that did not happen. So,
That's awesome.
oh yeah, what's that shit? Let me do this one. All right, keep going.
But yeah, Skyler, next question we normally ask people is, you know, what's your best dad hack?
Dad hack alert!
Or maybe some good dad advice that you want to share, or maybe that you've received from somebody. So has anybody
Got
shared
anything good yet?
anything
Yeah.
good with you yet?
To be honest, I feel like I got a real good one from my boss.
Oh, okay.
Perfect.
Yeah. Craig, if you're watching this, Craig.
Old Craig.
Probably not, but you know, Craig. Old Craig, yeah.
Old Craig.
He told me, like, just treat him like people.
Yes.
Right? Treat him like little people.
Adults,
And he
yeah.
like, because I was asking him, like, how do you get them to, like, focus on, like, what they're going to do?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, the things that they should be. And he's like, you know, we just have real conversations with them and
Yep.
treat them like, and that really resonated with me, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like, because I was like, they are little people. I mean, like, they have their own little quirks and their own little
Sure.
things, like we all
Sure.
do, right? I mean,
Yeah.
like, but just treat them like little people.
That's good.
I mean, we literally talked about this last week, that was one of the major takeaways from the first couple of years of parenting for me was don't baby talk them.
Right.
You talk to them like a little adult. We're not going to say goo goo gaga, let's go get timey-wimey to go dooey the Betty by time. No, it's just, all right, kiddo, it's time to go to bed.
Yeah.
And we're just having a conversation with another person. So, yeah.
You're really
love
good
that.
at baby
That's
talk,
good.
though.
Yeah, I'm
That was pretty
very
good,
solid.
I need to get mine up.
No, you don't. Don't do it. Don't do it. My dad hack, I've got several of them, and I want to talk more about the ones that we've heard on the podcast that I want to make sure you know about, because I
Yes.
thought they were very
Oh,
good.
there you go.
Okay.
But so I'll leave some of these later. Spoiler alert: Cam Cassads is still my favorite.
That is-
the
that
That was,
whole
a good
time.
solid.
that was a good one.
Yeah, the whole
That was
time
a
is
good
my favorite one. But when your kids get a little older, and when Jasper gets a little older, excuse me, and it's crappy outside like it is right now, it's cold,
Yep.
snowy, cabin fever's coming in real hard because little kids get stuck inside and all they want to do is bounce off the freaking walls, and it's very hard for everybody involved. Indoor play places exist, and they are the greatest thing in the world. It is like an indoor. They've got swing
Playground.
sets, and
Really?
they've got
Yeah.
sand pits, and they've got, some of them have little like trampoline rooms, and just like itty bitty city, and some of these places where it's just
Yeah.
a place that you can get your kid out of the house and let them go play like they're outside, but that's
the place.
not outside and it's 0 degrees.
Yeah.
And the other one was Tim Potoff told me today that, you know, he works, his wife works, and their kids were out of school.
Oh, what do you do?
What do you do at that point?
Yeah.
Well,
That is a good
he
question.
realized, and he had seen bounce across Facebook or something, the YMCA is open on snow days. And they will, for, you know, and I don't know how old your kids have to be. I think
Sure.
his kids are a little older. We've been around
Yeah.
them.
Yep.
But for like $25 a kid for the day,
What?
they will just like, you come bring your kid in and they can hang out for half a day or something like that.
Dang.
So, and I'm sure that
I did not
varies
know
place
that.
to place and where you are, and, you know, if that program is offered by your local Y. But at least here in Springfield, apparently the YMCA will let you bring your kids
Ooh.
over on a snow day.
Yeah.
Go hit the squat
And-
rack.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Get your workout in.
Get your weight up, son. Got to do those curls so you can really lock in that guillotine.
Oh, dang, that's a good one.
Yeah,
Man.
Potoff gave me that one. I thought that was
That is
solid.
a really
Yeah.
good one.
Yeah. No,
about you?
you should have took credit for that. But
Yeah, I'll let him have it.
But yeah, no. Mine. So both boys are getting to the stage where we can have conversations with them. Liam very much so. Brody's starting to get there, and so I know we'll probably talk about this a little bit more in a minute. And we talked a lot about it on the podcast, is routines and how important those are.
Yep. But
Don't always get stuck in your routine just to do the routine. For example, like with my boys, at bedtime, we always do the same stuff, right? And it's like, it's easy to get caught in that routine of always asking them, like, how was your day? Good. What'd you learn? I don't know.
Yeah.
Did you have fun? Probably. And then it's like, when you're stuck in that routine, you're like, okay, well, good night, love you, right?
Their answer to answer.
Right.
Because you're trying to hurry to get to the
Yeah,
end of the process, so
right.
they'll finally just go to bed. Yeah. I get that.
And so, and then the other night, I was like, you know what? No, man. I was like, we need to we need to talk more. And so I'm like, well, who'd you play with? I played with Margot. Okay. Well, what'd you guys play? Well, the bakery, so they have like a tiny town inside is their indoor recess place. Well, the bakery caught on fire today, and me and Margot had to put it out.
Awesome.
And well, then now he like opens up like a book, and he just wants to talk about anything and everything. And so I think it's really just, again, more so asking more open-ended questions, just so that, because I really want to build that in my kids, is, being able to have conversations with, not only me, because I do want them to be open with me in the future,
Talk to me.
but then too, just, so they're not that awkward kid that when they get around adults or other people, they don't know how to converse with them, know. And so that's probably mine that I'm really trying to implement now with my kiddos.
I love that a lot. Elsie's been working on handshakes.
Oh yeah,
nice to meet you. We've been working on
such a little
handshakes.
handshake.
Oh yeah, it's so much fun. I love it.
You need to teach her like a secret handshake that just you guys have.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
Sure. Well, and we kind of have one at night, but it's again talking about doing the same thing every single night because she's being a little bit of a shit right now. She did not want to do. We do the high five, the fist bump, the noggin, the kiss, and the big hug.
Okay.
And
I like that.
she wanted none of that tonight. I went to go give her a high five. She goes, I don't want to do a high five. Okay. Fist bump? I don't want to do a fist bump. Noggin? I don't want to do a noggin. It's like, what's going on right now? What's going on right now? And it got to the end of it, and I was like, all right, we're not going to do any of it. It's fine. I love you. I don't want to say that. And I was like, okay.
Dude,
I love you anyway.
They know how to push your buttons.
Yeah, dude, it's
they
so
know.
It's real. It's real. So we kind of started talking about, you don't have a kid yet.
Not yet.
Obviously,
Yeah.
very
on
soon.
the way.
Jasper-
We're ready.
Jasper
we got the room
incoming.
ready.
Okay, so
Jasper Ryan. I don't think we've said his full name
I
yet.
love it.
Jasper Ryan Henson.
That's
like
awesome.
So
got the room set up.
got the room set up. We're ready.
Got the car seat we understand how to use the car seat.
Yeah, it's not installed yet, but yes.
That's okay. It's early.
Okay.
But you know how to use it and stuff.
I think
you started
so.
playing with
I
it.
think so. No, not too
They
much.
make bases now.
That's what we're.
It's
That's
not
what we have.
rocket
We have a
science,
couple
yeah.
bases.
Yeah,
It's super easy.
Just get the base in there now, and then you don't have to worry about it
Okay.
if anything happens for sure.
Got the perfect spot ready. I think.
Let's see what
I
else.
think.
What other home stuff? I'm trying to think about what home things.
Yeah. What did you guys like? What were some items that you guys used that maybe not everyone kind of knows about, but you're like this is like. A
yeah.
lifesaver.
I mean, we can talk about this stuff all day
Yeah.
long. The wraps, instead of a swaddle that is just the big rectangle of fabric.
Okay.
They actually make Velcro
Zip up
or zip up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Swaddles
Okay.
that are exponentially easier to use.
hold better.
Yeah, / hold better. They're noisy. So if you're trying to take your kid out of one while they're asleep, they're pretty noisy with the Velcro.
Okay.
But, the swaddle being, just... And we had swaddle races early in the podcast. That was part of the joke, was that I thought I was the fastest swaddler in the West.
He even took a video of himself.
I have a video. Because Elsie's room has a camera. Her baby monitor has a
Is
camera
it an
on it.
outlet or whatever?
Hers is not an outlet, it's a
Same thing.
nanit. It's the same thought
Same thing,
process,
okay.
yeah. But it was over her bed, and I didn't even really think about it, but I'm swaddling her in the bed, and I'm like shirtless. It's the middle of the night, and I'm bang, bang, wrapping it up, rolling it up, tuck it in, tuck it, tie. And I looked up, and I was like, oh, the camera caught that. So I went back to my phone and pulled it up and saved the video. I was like,
replay.
let's go. Who was taking all challengers, fastest rapper in the West. But I like the Velcro swaddles
that's a good
for
one.
sure.
I hadn't thought about that, but those are.
Yeah.
those
Keeps
it
are
nice and
clutch.
tight.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
mean, each kid's gonna react differently to it. Elsie took to it really quick. Really
Yeah.
liked it, but those were good. I like
Yeah,
them.
you mentioned one that I hadn't even thought of, but the owlet, especially with our first one, like my wife, she could not sleep because she was so worried something was going to happen to Liam when he was an infant. Until we got the owlet, I think day 2 that Liam was home, and then that was
remember you talking about
that was
that.
able to give her some peace of mind.
Yeah.
So that's a good one. And then 2, I can't think of the name of this thing. It's like a little bed for him, but it has like bumpers all the way around it. And then you can like set that on your coffee table or on your table or on the couch.
Okay.
And then you can put the baby in it, and you don't have to worry about like them, rolling off or,
Yeah.
or
Sure.
anything like that. And we both boys use the crap out of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's the other thing too. I was gonna say on that question is like, dude, you're gonna have so much crap,
Dude.
especially with your first one, that you and they don't even use at all.
Because
But you don't know that you're not going to use it, right?
The stuff that you think is good will be
yeah.
crap, and the stuff that you think is crap will end up being the most important thing.
Yeah.
to your kid. And there's no rhyme or reason to any of it. It's just, okay, well, here's the stuff we're going to use with the kid, and well, that doesn't work, so push that off to the side, and this thing does. All right, let's bring it over here.
Yeah, like that little cradle thing that like moves and plays songs and stuff. It's supposed to help him sleep, and we was like, oh, the boys are going to love this. Neither one of our boys liked it, and we never used it.
Good to know.
And
The Wilcoxes had 2 of them, and the only person that used that was Elsie when we put her in there with Maddie Rice. And there was the 2 little kids in there, and we just got a video of them riding in it together, and that was the only time anybody used it.
Oh, older kids think it's super cool, but like babies who are supposed to use it, they're like, no, why would I do that?
Yeah,
Mom would just rock me. No big deal.
So you had asked, because we asked you to kind of tee us up with a couple of things, and one of the things you asked about was like the newborn stage.
Yeah,
and kind of what to expect. What do you think? Tell me about it.
I'm the most curious about that stage because I haven't been around a ton of newborns.
Sure.
So I think, like it's a big change, obviously. I mean, I feel like that, it's a big change.
Yeah, for sure.
Have you held a newborn before?
I refuse. If it's not mine,
I hadn't held one.
No, I'm not. And I feel like that's what I have big hands. Like I said, I probably should lay there nice, but
he will probably end up, you'll be able to palm him like you did a football in high school. Like, head in your hand, body down here, and unless he is forever long, and even if he is, you'll be able to fork his legs over your arm. And I walked around with Elsie like this forever. I just like carrying a football. That's how I carried her.
Do you feel like
around.
you just got more comfortable? Like
you definitely do.
Okay.
They
definitely do.
Go ahead. Because they feel like the most breakable thing in the world.
They do. And when they come out, they're 7 pounds, 8 pounds, right? Pretty light.
9 pounds, 8 ounces.
Okay. Still, pretty light, right?
Do you know yours?
Right. Liam was 7.5, and Brody was 5'11".
Okay.
Yeah. So, we had smaller boys, but anyways,
they're not small anymore.
So you think that's like light, but then whenever you hold them for like 20 minutes, your arms and back get so tired, and you're like, am I just this like out of shape and weak? Like, are they getting
it's different muscles, man.
But no, I was gonna say, you talking about football. Yeah, it's like the first couple months they still just ball up anyway. So it's like they look even smaller then. But no, it's fun. It's as bad as it sounds, they're more durable than what you think at that age. So.
Else rolled off the couch. Yeah. That was the thing that we were so freaked out, and she rolled off the couch, and we had one of those kind of like what he was talking about, where it's like a pillow, but it has border around the outside of it, right? And there's kind of a thing that you can set them down in, and she was just kind of laying there like a kid and squirming, and just kind of halfway rolled herself out, and she kind of rolled down the front of the couch and down the blanket, so she didn't like fall and hit the ground, but just rolled out. Liv and I called the doctor. Like, we called the overnight doc. Like, we were freaking out. And they're like, she's fine. Take a deep breath. Both of you take a deep breath. She'll be fine.
Yeah, I think it'll probably surprise you when Jasper gets here, like how rough the doctors are.
Oh, for sure.
Like, it's, especially that first one, because you don't know what to expect. And you're like, oh my God, that's my baby. Like for real.
Did you guys do any of the like Lamaze classes or any kind of birthing classes?
Yet. We did. Like, we toured the facility place and stuff, and so we know where to go.
Yeah,
so that's good.
Well, and I'm not saying it's a necessity by any means. Elsie was born during the pandemic, so we had to do it over a Zoom call sitting in our living room.
I can't even imagine.
So like it was a very different experience for us. But there are a couple of things like at the hospital that were, the whole freaking thing is terrifying and surprising at the same time. But like the meconium thing, the first poop is jet black and looks like oil. And it is the craziest looking
sticky.
thing. It's the craziest looking thing you've ever seen.
Is the most difficult
because
thing.
of what they were in.
Pretty much, because what they were eating and that first.
And it lasts for a couple days.
Yeah, so that first few poops. It's
awesome.
It looks like a petroleum product.
I have not heard. It
looks
this
crazy.
Before, so
it's
thank you.
Yeah, called meconium. And depending on how the delivery goes, your kid will come out a crazy color. Like Elsie was purple. when she came out. Like purple little cone head. I mean, we've all seen SNL. Like she came out cone head, like to the point where I was like, is she okay? I asked the doctors, like, is she okay? Is that normal? What am I looking at right here? Because Liv labored for 12 hours and then had an emergency C-section, and so she pushed and couldn't get Elsie out. So the top of Elsie's head was trying to go through, and she was literally being forced through. Well, soft skull, that turns this into this and just stretched the whole thing out. So she came out, and she looks great.
She was
now.
6 inches taller.
She was way longer than anybody would have thought. So
longest baby ever.
Be prepared for the kid to potentially be a color that you don't
head.
expect and
look like
a
an alien.
Like for real.
Look like Dan Aykroyd off of SNL.
No lie about that.
I love everyone's baby, but I think they all kind of look the same.
Crazy. Crazy and
Kinda
scary
look like
and alien.
aliens.
For
100%.
What about another thing you said that was really important to you is just instilling values? And not only Jasper, but any other kids that you guys have. So what are you going to try to instill in them?
Yeah, I think first and foremost is like family, right? I mean, like we're a unit, we're a pack in the home, and I think that he's got to come in and be part of the pack, and just
can you tell they're a big dog family?
we are we are for sure. But
That's great.
I mean, I don't know. I think that everything that like everyone else wants in them, like right, you want them to be honest, you want them to be trustworthy, you want them to love people, you want them to love their mom, treat their mom with respect, treat everyone with respect, and that sort of thing. I think just being able to kind of mold a little human that is trying to figure out their way through this crazy world that we're living in. You know what I mean? I mean, like, it is a crazy world.
It's fun.
Totally get that. Yeah,
but
absolutely.
like, they're all so impressionable, and so we're a dog family. Their dogs are very innocent, right? They just love, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like that is kind of what a little human kind of does too. Is he's just trying to figure his way out through this thing. What do I got to do?
Yeah.
And I don't know.
I love that.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I will say that's like one of the most fun parts about being a parent, but then also one of the most frustrating parts too.
And scary, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Because we mentioned that before too. It's like, well, I think I'm molding, as you were saying, this person into what I want them to be and hope they be. But then you don't really know until.
Give it about 15, 16 years, and then we'll figure this shit
down
out,
the
I guess,
road,
because I don't really know.
Fingers crossed this worked.
I think it's like anything too, though, right? Like they're gonna make mistakes growing up, right?
Yeah.
And you just got to be there to like help them through that, and like kind of hopefully they don't make a super big mistake that's unfixable, and like those kind of things.
Well, and it's early in life. You're teaching them the moral boundaries, right? Like you understand that they're going to make whatever decisions they're going to make, but hopefully you have taught them in such a way where they get to make them inside a set of moral lines that you and your family have all kind of agreed on. Like we talked about it, like bumpers on a bowling lane. Like you can throw the ball wherever you want inside the bumpers. Like we're just whatever rules you decide to set out for your family, you try to keep it inside that line.
Yeah.
Skyler, tell me about every parent going into parenting has had a conversation with their spouse about, or their baby mama, baby daddy, whatever. You've had conversations about what rules are we going to live by? What rules are our kids going to follow? Yeah. We're not going to do this. We're definitely going to do that. We're going to avoid this. We're going to let this happen all the time. What are some of the things that you and Alex have talked about?
I would say
rule-wise,
for me, first and foremost, number one, you're gonna respect your mother.
Yeah,
like having a boy, like he's not gonna talk back to mom.
Nice.
If you're gonna talk back, you're gonna talk back to me, and you're gonna have to deal with it. Whatever may happen. I think
I'm into that one,
and it's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's
gonna happen.
Oh, I'm sure
it's inevitable.
But he's gonna deal with the consequences too.
For sure. Yeah, I get
deal
that.
with dad.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that one for me is really important. The second one, like limiting screen time. I mean, we all grew up in a generation where we really didn't have computers as much, right? Growing up, and we didn't. Yeah. I think trying to get them to get as much of that as possible, like experience the world and not TikTok, and you know what I mean. Like, I think things like that. I think that to us, I think that's really important. I
don't even know that. Was there internet where you grew up?
Dial-up.
Had it gotten to Humansville yet?
But we didn't. Honestly, we didn't. Not in the 90s, I don't think, honestly. Or at least I say that. We didn't have it until... I was trying to think when I got a MySpace was like 7th or 8th grade.
Okay. That's the first time you remember getting on the computer.
Yeah. Like, near. 5 minutes later, all right, I can log in.
What is up with you?
Just complete stranger.
But no, I love that rule too, because I just had this conversation with a lady at work today, and her kids are my age, and we was talking about that. I'm like I don't remember like really having an option of what to do when I was little, other than like going outside and going and doing stuff. It's like
playing with your friends,
and I didn't really want to like sit in front of a TV and watch TV and again, Humansville, we didn't even have
we didn't have TVs.
we didn't have Nintendos or anything like that, so I couldn't even play Mario Kart.
He didn't have a TV. He had like a box. It was like a picture frame with little puppets behind it. That's our TV tonight.
There's some good shows though. But yeah, no, I love that. That's kind of one of ours too. Is try to limit it as much as possible. Our rule is it's like before nap time and before bedtime, we'll let them watch a part of a movie just to like calm them down. You know? But other than that, we try to avoid it. So.
I'm glad we're using the word limit, because we have had several people, not really on the show, but people in our circle of friends that have said, our kids won't look at a screen for the first 18 months of their life. Yeah. And we all said,
good luck.
Bullshit. There is no way that happens.
We live in a new world. I mean, that's hard today, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
right. Where can you go?
There's a lot of benefit in being able to properly manage screen time and be able to get them exposed to certain things. People learn a lot of things on the internet and through the whatever else. And
it has its purpose. For
exactly.
Sure.
And I feel like that, like you said, is controlling that though, is the big one. I mean,
can we encourage one extra wrinkle to that rule?
Yes. I'd love to hear it.
Limit your screen time as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Because we figured this out. Actually, we just talked about this last week. But like we also realized that we were sitting around flipping through our phones while the kids are playing in the room with us, or while they're doing something that might not be perceived as super interesting, and so you're flipping through Instagram. Elsie walked up to me the other day and took my phone. She's walking up towards me. I have my phone up like this, and she goes, "Dad, pay attention." And I went,
Alex
"Fucking,
does that
you're
to me
absolutely
now."
right." Yeah.
She's training you.
I was like, "No, you're absolutely right. I am so sorry." And now I've got an actual screen time limiter on certain apps on my phone. Because of that conversation that I had with my kid, where it's like slap me across the face because I'm being a dick looking at my phone.
Well, just like Skyler was saying a few minutes ago, they're super impressionable and they pick up on so much stuff, and that is one thing. I mean, I had very similar experience, and like you said, just a slap in the face, you're like, oh yeah, my phone is not near as important as my kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, great advice there, Bryant.
Add that.
So let me ask you guys this though. All right, when they're watching stuff, what are they watching? At what age are they watching what?
I think with us, probably from 0 to they didn't really watch anything from 0 to 6 months for sure. I'd say.
Yeah, we didn't do.
I'd say probably from 1 to 2 more like it was. We tried to do like educational stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
YouTube.
Is there a person?
Miss Rachel.
Well, he's Miss Rachel.
I am a firm believer in
one of
Miss
our loan
Rachel.
assistants is Miss Rachel.
Yeah.
She loves.
The first one that comes to mind for me is number blocks on, which that's when they get a little older.
That's the math one, right?
Yeah, it teaches them numbers and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the other ones that we watched, but yeah, it's just like your kids, they'll find something that they really like and they'll pay attention to.
Right now, it's Trash Truck, which is on Netflix.
Boys watch that too.
It's Bluey, because mom and dad can actually also watch it and enjoy
Bluey
it.
is a really good one.
I've heard Bluey's pretty good.
Bluey's the shit.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Bluey's the shit. Bluey's awesome.
We aspire.
It is
to
fun.
Be Mr. Healer.
Oh, dude, for sure. Like, that is the best fictional dad, for sure. Like, it's fun. Frankly, it's a hell of an example for a father, because the fictional dog dad on that show is awesome. The mom is also incredibly good, and the two little girls are just great. And it's fun, and the accents are fun because they're Australian and we're rednecks, and we don't get to hear none of that very often.
I wonder what they'd think of our accent.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what else, what other like shows, because I know Trash Truck and Bluey for sure.
The super simple songs.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Those are good too. I know our boys listen to a lot of those.
And that's and that one's, you can get some parody super simple songs YouTube and Spotify. So you can play the video on YouTube, or we just put it on the phone, like in the car, and listen to super simple songs, which we're still trying to get away from. Please, God.
Well, it's like when they're really young too.
Trying
anything like colorful.
Okay.
Funny story how we found this out. Liam, when he was less than a year old, for whatever reason, Wheel of Fortune came on the TV. And the wheel has all these bright colors. And Liam is locked in on this. And we're like, that's when we kind of realized, like, oh, he likes
it's gonna be a
bright
trivia
colors.
whiz over
Yeah,
there.
sure. So it was funny there for a few months there. Like, we had a tradition of watching Wheel of Fortune every night. But then then you find like educational videos. It's like, it shows the color and it tells them what color it is and stuff. And so then they're able to learn that way. But
I really like Miss Rachel.
Yeah.
I'll reiterate that one again. I think she's really good.
Yeah.
Things to avoid, like the plague.
Cocoa melon.
That
Don't
is like consensus
even
right
tempt
there.
your child
Do not,
with
dude.
that.
Because they will love it.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now, Jasper will love it, and it is the worst.
Yeah.
It's like these just terrifying little animatronic looking babies.
Shoot me now.
And the songs are bad, and they're nonsense, and it's no bueno,
Melon.
no
Yeah.
good.
Hear that, Alex? No cocoa melon.
Yeah, exactly.
There's another one too I can't think of, but yeah, Cocoa Melon's by far the worst. What about so you talked about like rules that
Do you have any other ones?
Yeah.
Any
let's
other
start
plans
there.
or rules?
I was thinking like you guys didn't mention it. I'm like watching stuff, but I thought I would just show them like Nolan Arenado highlights, or Greg Maddox pitching in the World Series.
I'm not mad at this.
Slow motion, the mechanics of it. Yeah.
Shohei Ohtani, throwing 99, hitting nukes.
Hey, with that, I would say introduce like sports to them on TV as early as possible too, because we did that with our boys, and they don't mind sitting there watching basketball or football. They really like golf.
Love that.
And now Liam, when he sees whatever sport it is on there, it like literally does not matter what it is. He's like, he looks at me, he's like, Dad, can we try that? And I'm like, heck
yes,
dude.
we can.
Like, this is cool.
All right,
Like,
you
this is
stand
good
over
fun.
there. We're gonna throw this ball at you.
Yeah.
Hit it.
And every time that you see a Chiefs logo, Liam's go Chiefs.
Both boys.
Really?
Both boys, yeah.
Big fans.
Yeah, so
Big
it's awesome.
fans.
What about something that not necessarily like a rule, but something like you for sure you want to do like with the kids? Like me and Allie, for example, ours was like I don't think either one of us went to the beach until I was in high school, and I think she was in high school or college, and we were like, you know what, we're taking our kids to the beach because we want them to experience that and see them experience that when they're little.
Yeah.
And so what about you guys? What's something that you for sure just want to do with the
I think
kiddos?
just experiencing the world, right?
Yeah.
Getting out in nature and seeing what this world is about. What life is and that sort of thing. I think and getting those experiences that maybe you didn't get as a child, or letting them have them and providing them to them. That's what we're all trying to do here, right? I feel like as parents, people, in the simplest forms, is we're just trying to provide a better life to our kid than we had it. Not that we had it bad at all. We had it good, but
you want to improve.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that's what this whole thing is about, is we just keep improving.
Yeah. Well, too, one thing we've realized, and I'm sure somebody has told us this along the lines as well, is experiences are way cooler than stuff.
Preach.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
For sure.
And we're all bad about it, and everybody's going to be bad about it. It's about wanting to get your kid everything, every toy out there, everything that they love. But you'll see it when you
Christmas.
get there.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
My house is just full of toys.
Seeing them, but
that part's fun.
The experience, seeing them experience
I know.
Christmas, seeing them
Yeah.
experience
So
the
many
beach,
toys.
seeing them experience the world. You'll see your kid light up, and it is the coolest thing you'll ever see.
I feel like that's what I'm most excited for, to be
Yeah.
a dad, is to I almost experience it again through them, though, right?
You do,
For sure.
absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is that a Mr. Rogers quote where he talks about don't remember that your kid is a kid and remember that it's okay to be a kid.
Yeah.
And they want to have fun with kids. And I don't remember the exact song. I'm butchering whatever Mr. Rogers said. But it was something along the lines of don't forget to be a kid with your kid.
Yeah.
Because it's way more
And
fun.
too, they'll make you realize how cool the simple things are too.
Yeah.
Because again, that's their first time experiencing it.
Yeah.
Again, how simple it may be.
The car wash.
Yeah.
Elsie thinks the car wash is the
Oh, yeah.
craziest,
Yeah.
loudest, coolest thing ever.
And you're like, you know what? When you sit down and think about it, this is kind of cool. But
We wanted to do the water, just in general. That for me was something that I was really excited about with Elsie. I love the water, but I also don't want her to be scared of it. And so we were doing swim lessons way early.
Especially when you have a pool in the backyard.
Oh, that too. That was also part of it. 100%. That was also part of it.
You got swim.
Yeah, you're going to know how to do that. But yeah, like the water was something that I was really, I grew up at the lake and doing that kind of stuff and at the pool. And I was like, we're going to learn how to swim early and often. We were in the pool, good grief. We were in the tub upstairs because we've got our master bathroom has this silly tub in it. And we don't use it for anything except on crappy snow days where we fill it full of water and then Elsie and I go swim. We just go sit in this giant tub and like Liv comes in with it was hilarious. Cocktails.
Oh, mocktails.
Yeah, I mean it was seltzer water and little lime wedges and little umbrellas and straws.
Vibing.
The big hat.
Elsie had the coconut drink.
Yeah.
We were just hanging out, having a beach day in the pool.
Oh, man,
awesome.
That is awesome.
I'm trying to think about some of the other questions that we asked. What'd you say?
Here's a good one.
All right.
So what scares you the most about becoming a dad?
Oh yeah. Okay. Solid.
I feel like it's the fragility of the newborn stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, like, I feel like it's what I mean.
It's the unknown, dude.
Yeah, it's the unknown. It's the unknown. Fear of the unknown.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Other than that, it's like making sure that they grow up in a good environment where they, thrive, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Sure.
It's kind of scary thinking about.
The only way to get through the fragility thing is to just get that kid on the ground. Get that kid in your hands.
Start moving.
And 2 days later, you will, or not even 2 days later, who am I kidding? A couple hours later, you'll understand exactly what you can do with your kid.
And I feel like after talking to you guys and other people, it's like, okay, well, as it's your own, like you just kind of like you understand, like okay, well this is not that bad.
That's what I was gonna.
You'll get a feel.
Say.
You'll learn how to support the head, and everything else is pretty much just comes along with it.
I think it'll surprise you.
Don't let the head fall.
Yeah, exactly. Support the head, and that's all you gotta learn.
How natural it comes to you, as well, too. Because you're like me. I'd never held a newborn before, and I'm just like, oh, what do I do? And then they get here, and it's you figure it out.
You start dadding.
Exactly. So you've alluded to talking to other people than us, and so I'm sure you've heard all of the good, but you've also probably heard all of the bad.
Yeah.
And you talked about like what scares you, but are there any parts of it that you've heard so far that you're not looking forward to? Like, I understand being scared of stuff, but like, what are some of the normal things that you're like, I don't really want to do with that? That sounds awful.
The changing the diaper stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, like, I'm gonna have to get used to it. I gag. You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
No, I get it. Yeah, that's a normal response. I also think you get used to it.
Do you?
And
I'm
I
sure
feel
you
like
do,
it's
though.
different when it's your kid.
Yeah.
Right.
That paternal switch kind of gets flipped
for whatever
and it's
reason.
like,
I picked up our dog's poop, but I don't think that's the same thing.
It kind of is, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, minus the wiping part,
I
but
feel
everything
like
else
the
is kind of
food
normal.
thing is what makes a difference, right? It's like my dogs are eating
So,
a certain
fun-
food. I know what that's gonna look like. I don't know what this is gonna look
Yeah.
like.
Fun fact though. What is it like? The first year, the poops don't even smell.
Yeah, that's true. It doesn't.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't smell like anything.
Yeah.
crazy,
So you're
really.
like, I think it surprises you at first.
Okay.
Unless it's a random color. We have definitely changed. That's something to think about is sometimes they're going to come out and it's going to be that blue, and sometimes they're going to be that green, and maybe even that white.
Yeah, right. But until they start eating like solid foods, like it's not bad at all.
Yeah, it's not too
Then
bad.
then it gets bad.
Yeah, that first time you that
Like
first time you introduce,
Brody
like,
right
blueberries.
now, man, his are rank.
Yeah.
Is there foods that you guys avoid? You're like, oh, this is
Oh,
not good.
that's a good question.
No.
There's nothing really
Not
I hadn't
crazy.
even thought of that. Like, don't eat this. 'cause it's bad.
I can tell you what
Your
gives
stomach does not
Liam.
agree with this.
Yeah.
I can tell you what gives Liam crazy diapers is cookies with green icing because it turns his diapers violent green.
Yeah, he was out of diapers, but yeah, we were potty training him, and
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah.
That's right. That's
and
right.
he
I
had
forgot. Dang. Okay.
about that color green turd sitting in the toilet, and he's
guy.
like, Dad, why is my poo poo all green? I'm like, that's a good question. And we realized he ate a bunch of cupcake icing, green icing, and it just evidently nothing changed from beginning to end on that.
Makes your mouth blue on the way in.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
We
that's
talked
fun.
about something too. about like things to expect for the first little bit. I just thought of this.
Yeah.
The early days, how do you do with not 8 hours of sleep? Because I'm just going to go ahead and say it's coming.
I don't know if I've done this since college.
Yeah, well, so you'll be pulling all-nighters again?
Yeah.
It's a whole different reason.
Different thing.
Yeah. Not nearly as fun.
No, I mean, it is one of those deals, though. You will be surprised at how, frankly, because it is taking care of your own kid, how well you can operate with way little sleep than you.
Well, you wake up with authority, right? It's like this is your responsibility, bud. Like you.
Well, and it's also not like somebody gently saying, "Hey, buddy, it's time to wake up."
It's like you. Wake up
and try to embrace those moments too, dude.
Yeah,
it's really hard to do in the moment, but I feel like one, you do surprisingly you do miss it for whatever reason, but and two, I feel like you really build a bond there too. It's like when you're up all night, hanging out with them, holding them, comforting them. I feel like you really build that bond with them. So. Yes, it sucks in the moment, but in the grand scheme of things, try to enjoy it while you can.
Well, and you get those late night changes, and all of a sudden you've got a naked kid, but you've changed her bottom like 4 different times in the last hour, and so you're trying to give her a little bit of time without a diaper on because she's just diaper rashy like crazy. Yeah. But you're laying chest to chest with your kid.
Yeah.
And, I've at this point, I'm like delirious. I've peeled my shirt off, but I'm laying there in the rocking chair with my kid chest to chest. Best part of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Those kinds of things. Or I've got an awesome picture that I didn't, that's still one of my favorite ones where I've got a button down on, but I've got it buttoned over her.
Yeah.
Aww.
With her on my chest poking out. It was like, this is good. This is where it's at. And it was the middle of the night. Like it was just, I was trying to find a shirt and it was in the floor at the foot of my bed. So this will work. And I put it on and I was like, oh, it's a button down. Yeah. All right, perfect. So I just kind of stuffed her in there, and that kind of stuff, those late night deals.
Okay.
It'll suck. But
yeah. And it's like, how cool is that too, that like another human is like completely dependent on you, and all they want is you.
That's what I was going to say. Right? That's the part that you miss.
Yeah.
You don't miss the changing the diapers, but the fact that you get to just take care of somebody and somebody needs you.
So let me ask you this then. That leads me to a question then. When was like the first time you guys were like, oh, this is a little person and they have their own agenda? Like, I'm not in control of this thing anymore.
Sure.
That's a good question.
It was a couple.
Taken off.
It was the early days of identifying Liv as the default parent. And that's not something that that happens. Like one of the parents is inevitably going to be the kid's quote unquote favorite. Yeah. They're going to be the default parent.
Alex for sure.
Yeah. Well,
I'm the authoritarian.
buddy, here's what I'm going to tell you. Shit in one hand, hope in the other, and see which one fills up first. Because I promise, we never know. Liv and I going into having kids, Liv was convinced that she was going to be the authoritarian. Okay. And I was going to be the happy-go-lucky, goofball
you are
dad.
A happy-go-lucky guy.
Yeah. But not worse than my wife. and so, it's so interesting to see what happens when the kid gets on the ground and how things just, what you expect to happen does not happen.
Yeah. Okay. And your authorities are different. Your wife's authority and your authority is different.
It is. That's true. I agree with that assessment. But yeah, for Elsa, it was when she started to kind of identify no, I want mommy. I was like, oh, okay, no, and that's fine. I'm not a little bit on the heartstrings, but I understand it. It's like, okay, we'll get you with mom because you are telling us what you want, what you need. Perfect. We're gonna go for it.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, I think with me, with Liam, it honestly probably wasn't until he kind of hit that terrible 2 stage, and it's there's nothing you can do to resolve this issue other than kind of wait it out.
Yeah, pat him on the back, say you're doing okay, bud.
Be there for him, because then that's when I really realized as a parent, it's you don't have near as much control as what you think you do. So that was with Liam, and with Brody, it was a little sooner than that. It was probably once Brody hit somewhere between a year and a half, because he was honestly from 0 to 1, he was an easy baby, super easy baby. And me and Allie talk about that all the time. But then once he was able to walk a little after 1, for whatever reason, shit hit the fan. This kid got wild. His personality really came out, and it's this is a whole different animal right here. So yeah, I mean, it depends, on your kid.
Sure, I would agree with that. I'm trying to think, what other ones do we want to talk about here?
What about? Well, you kind of talked about the diapers. Have
Yeah,
you practiced at all on that?
I have not practiced.
Okay.
Is this shy? I need
Baby
to.
dolls, footballs.
Okay.
Yeah, and boys.
I need to practice.
And boys are different than girls.
Yeah, and I don't feel like boys
We've talked about
are
that.
as hard as girls either.
Oh.
I don't
Really?
think. You just gotta
No,
you gotta watch out because they'll spray.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. That's the difference. Elsie
Gotta
can't
move her.
pee out.
Yeah.
Elsie can't pee up.
Yeah, make sure you keep the front on the boy's diaper closed until you have that second diaper open, ready to go.
Dude,
'Kay.
that might be the tip of all.
They make a
essentials.
thing called a PPTP. We never got one, but that might be worth the investment too.
But yeah, but the idea is like you open the diaper all the way up and you lay it down, and then you put the kid with their diaper still on it on top of that.
Yeah,
Okay.
Then you take their diaper off. And so then when you pull it out, there's a fresh diaper directly under
Yeah.
them.
Do you guys lift or roll?
It kind
I-
of depends on the. I
depends on the
grabbed by
person.
the back of their leg. I grabbed her by her ankles.
That's
and
what I
kinda
do.
Picked her up a
Yeah.
little bit and
Just
kinda-
slide under.
So the
Yeah.
idea being that her bottom is pointed that way, and I've
Yeah.
got her hand like this, and so you're kind
Ready
of
to go.
picking her bottom up just a little bit, so you can do the wiping.
Yeah.
But then also understanding that you've got that fresh diaper under there, so
Ready
if
to
something does happen, then it's catching
safe.
anything, or you can reach under there and just go yoink and try to pick it up and like pull it over the top a little bit, so you can cover some of it up.
Yeah.
But his is a different experience because. Penis is omnidirectional.
yeah,
It can kind of get everywhere.
yeah. And it's funny too seeing Allie handle that versus me.
Yeah.
Handling it because I guess as a guy you kind of know what to expect
Yeah.
out of that,
Yeah.
but she did
I've been
not.
dealing with one for 35 years
and
now.
she got peed on a lot more than I did. But you'll learn. Although I will say, they do make little mats that you can put down like anywhere, like on a couch, on a floor, or anything like that. Do that.
Okay.
for
Then
sure.
you don't have to clean up really messes.
But, I mean, even just a blanket.
So, at what age are they old enough to do like a country pee?
Yeah.
That's on you, big boy. I don't get to do those.
Honestly, well, yeah. So you have a boy. So I mean, we started potty training Liam at like 2.5,
Okay.
and I think that really helped him potty train.
Understand the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, whenever you start potty training is whenever I'd teach it to him.
Now, to be clear, Elsie has peed outside. It was not an intentional move.
Well, Brian, I found on good authority that your brother may have taught my wife how to country pee.
Yes, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's very true. So, yeah, Alex, his wife grew up. We grew up backyard neighbors, and Drew and Alex, or my brother and Alex, are the same age. And there are lots of situations like that where it's Alex and Drew taught each other a bunch of funny shit like that. That's really
That is
good.
awesome.
Trying to think what else.
I mean, a couple things. What about how do you think you'll do in the delivery room?
Yeah, there you go. There you
What
go.
about
There you
that
go.
Man, I feel like everyone's expecting me to pass out.
What-
Like that's
Is
expected.
what
when
do
you
you-
say
what do you
everyone,
think,
what do
though?
you think?
I think I'm a naturally curious person, and I'll take a peek on the other side, and then I may
Good
have my
luck.
fill and
Yeah.
come back and
Yeah.
never do it again. But
I get it.
I'll peek for sure, just because I'm curious.
Yeah,
I don't
get
know.
that. Well, so is she? And feel free to tell me. We're
Yeah.
not talking about that publicly.
No.
Is it? Are we planning a C-section or is it a natural birth? Or what are we planning at this point?
Alex, to her credit, is trying to do all natural birth.
Good for her.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
real. Good for
Unmedicated.
Good job, Alex.
Trying to. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But
So when you say get down there, then there's no getting down there. You'll probably be in it.
yeah, probably.
Like, because if you're
That- I mean, that's
the
a good point.
idea being of think about standing next to somebody in a bed, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna have one hand and probably your arm on one leg, and so you're kind of right there. So
Like, how
there's-
graphic are you
on
going
the
to get with this,
I'm
Brad?
not.
I'm
In the
curious
words,
though. That's pretty important
what was
stuff to
what
know,
was the
right?
thing we said when I was changing the diaper in the wrong place? You're looking down the barrel.
Yeah. I will say, because I mean, I know I had this picture in my head of what I was going to be like in the delivery room.
Yeah.
And I think you'll pleasantly surprise yourself on how you'll be
Yeah.
in there. Because it is.
Knock on wood.
and it is too, which I know you guys did C-section, so I don't,
Yeah.
obviously have no idea what that's like, but
Terrifying.
But it is like in a weird way an amazing experience.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, it's incredible.
I'll say this: a woman's body is incredible. The fact that they can do that is, hey, more power to you. I'm glad you guys.
And you will have a whole new appreciation for your wife.
Yeah.
After seeing.
Well, and we joked about this when we were in the break that like we married soft women, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean exactly.
That is such a better way to put it.
And I don't mean soft in a negative way, but just they're that's just that's who they are.
Though.
But holy shit, the power of
her willpower,
woman
man,
is unbelievable.
The willpower,
so strong.
Yeah,
and modern medicine.
Well, that also helps, but Alex won't get the benefit of that. So
that should, yeah.
So, Skyler, I think any dad has probably a few good stories about pregnancy and what their point of view from pregnancy has been. So, what's it been like for you to see Alex go through that, and any good stories on that?
I don't feel like I have a ton of good stories. I feel like Alex has rocked it, really.
Yeah.
I mean, there hasn't been a ton of... we haven't had any issues. Like, she hasn't craved anything, which I thought was the weirdest thing. I was like, everyone talks about all these cravings that they have, and like, you have to go in the middle of the night, and it's like
sardines and ice cream.
Well, that has not happened yet. So,
I mean, didn't happen with Liv really either.
Yeah,
really?
So, which is wild. What
I got a good story. About
okay, let's hear it.
Okay, so obviously hormones are all over the place with the pregnant wife, and I think this is with Liam. Allie, she always craved apples, always wanted apples. Okay,
so funny.
And so she grocery shop, gets a bag of apples. I'm like, oh, apple sounds good today. So I go grab me an apple and I eat it, and she walks down the hallway, sees me eating this apple, and just tears. Just bawling. She's like,
oh no, what'd you wrong, Derek?
That's the only thing I can eat right now. And just starts losing it. And I'm like, whoa. I'm like, this wasn't like I ate the last apple in the bag. Like,
there's 40 of them in there.
There's a whole bag in the pantry. And she's just like, no, that's all I can eat. And just losing it. And I'm like, oh, wow. Okay, well, no more apples for me.
Yeah. I think I'll take a break. I'll go to oranges, please.
Yeah. So that was fun. Yeah, I mean, Allie, it's funny. She's had different cravings and different things that she can't handle, I guess.
Yeah.
With both pregnancies, and they've been, or all three pregnancies now, I guess. And they've all been different. And then we had another meltdown over honey. We were out of honey. We were out of honey.
All I can do is
you need to get more.
Yeah, we were out of honey, and it's like, dude, guys. The more I think about it, the funnier it gets. And so, like, literally, she's telling me, she's like, I need some of my local honey. She's like, I need some. I'm like, okay. I'm like, we're not doing that. This is like on on a Saturday. And so I'm like, okay. I'm like, we literally have nothing on the schedule today. I'm like, let's go get some. And we're literally like getting ready to get in the car to go get some honey. And again, another just breakdown.
Waterworks.
And she's like, all I want is my honey. And I'm like, babe, we're going to get some right now. She's like, I know, but I need some right now.
Anticipate my needs.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. We'll get it for you. One away.
Oh, yeah. So it's funny.
So is Alex, I mean, I know that there are like some definite like things that you are not supposed to eat during pregnancy, some of the raw stuff, some of the deli meat. Has any of that stuff been a real struggle for her?
No, I think like lunch meat and sushi.
Sure.
I mean, like that's kind of like the big one. It's a big one. I think those kind of things, I think she's probably missing. I'm probably missing something. She'll correct me.
Yeah, you'll remember like, when she tells you.
I couldn't have that. Like, sorry, I kind of forgot.
Yeah, well, I wondered because Liv was pissed about deli meat. Like in particular, she was furious about not being able to have deli meat because Liv loves nothing more than going to the fridge and getting 2 pieces of turkey because she's one of those kind of people. 2 pieces of turkey, 2 pieces of white bread, and American cheese and nothing, just raw dogging it. No mayo, no ketchup, no nothing.
It's a small town thing,
Dude, just raw dogging turkey and cheese.
Don't hate it till you try it.
And it's awful. But it's also just two pieces. It's not shingled on there or anything. It is two pieces of turkey just flat on the bread. It's
Man.
Yep.
this is the worst. But yeah, she had a hard time with
Get that a glass of milk or what?
Yeah,
You get to
yeah.
drink a whole gallon of water with that thing.
No kidding.
Has anything made her like sick or anything like that?
No, not that I can think of.
God, this girl's a rock star.
Right? For real.
Yeah,
Good job,
For real,
Alex.
she's killing it. I think she's probably missing the wine.
Yeah, I get
I
that.
think everyone
for sure.
kind of does, right?
That's like that's the thing.
And she sees me having a beer every now and then, and she's like,
Gets jealous.
So has that been the movie? Have you tried to dial it back a little bit, at least around her? Or
yeah. I feel like I've been pretty good.
Yeah.
Every now and then,
I mean, it's within reason. I understand.
this is all for a purpose.
Uh-huh.
Right.
That's why I keep telling her. It's all
It's
for a
like,
purpose.
there's light
Yeah,
at the end of the tunnel.
There
like,
is,
this isn't
there
forever,
is, there
right?
is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love it.
she's really rocking it, dude.
Oh yeah,
Good for her,
sure.
man.
Yeah. I mean,
That's awesome.
I knew she was going to kick ass at this, but I'm glad to hear that she is. What else, DC? Is there anything else that we can think of that we want to talk about before we get to everybody's favorite part of the podcast?
Not that I can think of. Does Skyler know the favorite part of the podcast?
It's Dad Joke of the Week.
Oh,
It's time, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to make the guest go first. I'm just going to throw it right on you, dude.
Oh man.
What kind of dad joke
pressure.
you bring with us?
All right.
Bring to us.
Let's see here. Why did the coffee file a police report?
Ooh, nice. Because it didn't want to get roasted.
That's a good one. That is a good one. That is really good.
That's as close as I get. What is it?
It's better than I think.
Because it got mugged.
Hey, I was close. Dang it.
It's right in front of us.
It was right
in front of us.
It is.
right in front of us. What do you got, DC? Actually, mine's bad. I want to go second.
Well, okay. Let's take it down here, and I'll take it lower. Okay.
So I bought Liv some board games for Christmas, and one of them was Scrabble. And you would expect, that my kid, she's old enough that she doesn't like put a bunch of little toys in her mouth, but she did accidentally swallow a bunch of Scrabble tiles. Which
on,
obviously
Elsie.
is a
Not
problem. Her next trip to the restroom really spelled disaster.
It's a lot of tiles.
Yikes.
Holy shit!
Where were you, Bryant? While she was doing that?
What were you
Never,
doing?
never leaving my kids with you. Good night.
What do you got, DC?
Oh,
was
man.
good.
Yeah. That wasn't.
That was
no,
good.
I don't know why you thought that was bad. That was
Yeah.
good.
I have zero. Which of these dad joke radar, which of these are going to be good radar? Because
What's gonna hit?
all those, I'm looking at that. I'm going, this is the worst one I've ever told. I'm never doing this again.
Oh man, well, you guys, you both know that I grew up on a farm. We had, a bunch of cows,
can
stuff
tell.
like that, right? So, so I know a lot about cowboys. I don't classify myself as a cowboy by any means, but I feel like I do know quite a bit about them. So did you guys know, like back in the day, pre vehicles and stuff, cowboys, they would hang a lantern on their saddle when they were out riding when they're far away
Sure.
from home, right? So that they could see the trail. Why are you
Where's
laughing?
this going?
See the trail?
I'm waiting. Sorry, please continue.
Yeah. Well, they did that, and then people realized this was really the early stages of satellite navigation.
Oh my God.
It's so stupid.
I know, true dad fashion.
That
I
was
like-
that was pretty good though, because there's a lot of build up there. We're like, where's this
his
going?
laugh threw me off.
like,
I was like,
Where the
dude,
hell are we going right now?
Oh, okay.
lost my
That was good.
concentration.
That
I
was
was like, dang it. Right, shut up.
Good juice.
Go ahead, DC.
Oh man, well I think we gotta, since it's season 2, we gotta tell everybody, like, share, subscribe to YouTube.
Decent dads. Thank
Yeah.
you guys for having me
Spotify.
on.
Oh, we
Thank
appreciate you
you.
being here.
Yeah, and then also
YouTube,
too,
Spotify.
we are on Apple Podcasts
Yep.
now. so
Podcast.
YouTube, Spotify,
Everywhere,
and Apple.
boys.
follow and 5-star ratings only.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, for real, Skyler, thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for
Thanks
being
for
on
being
here.
here.
It's been
Appreciate
awesome. It's been awesome.
We might, I don't know, there's even talks we might have you on towards the end of the year and see,
See if
Yeah,
I've
we kinda
changed.
wanna
how,
bring
how your answers correlate.
If I just look a little bit
now.
more beat down, you guys will
yeah.
understand.
How many times you get pooped on? I mean, all we really have to say is way to go, decent dad.
Dude,
You killed it, buddy. Good
love
job.
you guys.
Love you too, buddy. Thank you for being here very much.
For real.
And thank you for listening. So anybody else have anything else?
I got nothing.
Cheers,
All
boys.
right.
All right.
We'll see you next time.
I lived in Canada for a little bit.
Did you really? I didn't know.
Didn't you play baseball too?
Yeah, I played
ball up there?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would say lived. I lived with the Billet family, but like, yeah,
That's
we
cool.
lived in. It's like the Kansas of Canada,
What's the name of the community, or where was it?
Regina, Saskatchewan.
I-
Regina.
That's
Regina,
so funny.
That's real,
Regina.
So,
It's a real place.